Okay, and this is the chaya. So this is the tree spinach. So basically this tastes like spinach and it grows in a tree or a shrub. It kind of depends on what varieties you have, but it can be either one. And they're super easy to grow. They're super nutritious. And they taste really good. And it's a really good summer alternative to spinach because, for instance, I have such a hard time growing spinach in summer because it's a cold crop to me. So, yeah. But these guys are pretty good. They taste really good. You do have to cook them though. You can't eat this raw like you would spinach, but I think it's still okay. It's finally time to take this guys out, but we need to cut him. Look at that. He is touching the roof. He's raising the roof. Oh, he's so tall. This greenhouse is 8 feet tall, so he outdid that. And here's a cutting. Oh, he's already burning. And then I just hurt him there, so he's bleeding his little white sap. Huh. Okay, and this is where we're at now, and we got a whole bunch of cuttings. We saw that I cut about 2 feet off the top, about, and they're all here. And there's some bigger cuttings, there's some smaller cuttings, and there's some things that were already broken and they were still just hanging on there. And these guys are kind of like succulents, so we're basically gonna let those dry up before we actually do cuttings. Yeah, so they've basically been here for like 3-4 days and they're totally dry. The ends, I can basically plant them now and they won't rot, at least not unless I overwater them too frequently. But yeah, so I just need to clean them up a little bit because the leaves finally started to get droopy. Well, some of them, the bigger ones basically. The little ones are still going to be fine. Once I plant them in here, they're going to be cuttings, so they're not going to have roots for a while, but they're going to hold on to the little ones, I think, to the little leaves. And then once they grow a few roots, then they'll be fine. Yeah, so I think they still have a lot of energy stored in here, so I think they'll be fine. They to me they're very similar to succulents, because basically when you cut them you kind of have to like let them dry before you actually go ahead and put them in dirt, otherwise they're more likely to rot. I mean, they do like the heat and they'll survive pretty warm temperatures. The only thing is that they do not like the cold. But yeah, so I have 2 different kinds of chaya here. So I have this guy over here, and this one tends to be taller, I think. Whereas this other one over here branches off a whole bunch more. So this is more shrubby, this is more tree-like, I think. This is also a slow grower, slower compared to this. But once they're pretty big, I think this guy produces more leaves than this guy does. And then also look at the leaves here. These guys are tiny right now, but they're shaped like this. So they have wide leaves. Do I have a bigger one? Yeah, look at that. So this is the kind of leaves that this guy makes. And then the skinnier version is this. Hold on, let's see. What's this? So they're both pretty leaves. This guy just tends to be bigger. You get more food per leaf, I guess. You get more food per leaf. These ones are also easier to wash when they're bigger than these guys are, just because this guy does have a few more edges and so on. So it's just a little more delicate when washing. But overall, they're pretty tough little leafies. So they'll be fine. And I think for the baggies, I want to stick to long skinny cuttings to begin with. I'm not really going to be doing this guy right away because they'll take up a lot of space and it'll be really hard to like pull them out to examine the roots eventually. So I'm just going to use the skinny ones, and then I'm going to leave the ones to split off, the bigger ones, for bigger pots, I think. But yeah, so in these little baggies we just have basically a little bit of peat moss, a little bit of topsoil, and a little bit of perlite. Oops, I just said I'm not doing those. A little bit of perlite and a little bit of compost. And I think it's just some old soil too from different pots. So there's a little bit of that. But look at this. So this the Chaya, the bigger one that I have, the one that I get the most of the cuttings from, it branches off so much, so it's gonna be hard to find some that are just little sticks. But I mean, they're there. It's just they branch off so much. But that's fine. I like that. Okay, all of this, guys. This one I can't remember what kind of cutting. I mean, I know it's a Chaya, but I don't know if it's this little guy or if it's this little guy. And I think it might be this one, but I can't be sure. But I think that's the one that I cut the thickest stem from. And I just want to clean them off a little bit. And see, this guy, I just bent the leaf, so he's most likely going to drop it anyway. And this one too. And the things just kind of break off super easily. Let's see. So they're kind of really easy to make cuttings out of too. And the soil's pretty dry right now, so I will water them once I'm done. And normally I like to moisten the soil beforehand. But this, guys, I don't know. I'm not too concerned. I have so many cuttings, and I don't actually need any more plants. My plants are pretty big, and this year I think they're gonna get new soil and everything, so they're gonna be fine. They're gonna do a lot better than last year. And even so, every year I do manage to get a bit from them. See, this is what I mean. They're super productive because basically every tip on the tree had this many leaves, and they're all just going to start getting big, and then they bloom, and the flowers smell so good. But yeah, but they start growing a whole bunch of leaves all at the same time. If they're happy, if the weather's warm, they will produce a lot. And that's good, because in summer you can't, you know, I don't know, like I have trouble growing spinach, but these guys grow without a problem whatsoever. In winter, I do overwinter them in a greenhouse. It doesn't need to be heated. Usually mine is not, and they still manage to survive the winter. They just don't produce. But they definitely do a lot better the bigger that they are. Because this basically, the smaller that they are, the more likely that they won't come back, that they won't survive the winter. But once they're, I don't know, a good 1.5 feet or so, they seem to survive okay inside the greenhouse without any actual heat. They do lose most of their leaves, but as long as they survive and they come back in spring. And they actually started coming back mid-winter when I put them up in the greenhouse up front. And so they actually came back just fine this year. Every year they've been coming back better and better and earlier, so that's pretty cool. But I do definitely recommend you guys try it, because it's it actually tastes really good. I actually really like this, and the plant is super carefree. For a while I didn't take care of it. I said basically the pot that it's in, the planter that it's in, he's been in that I don't know, in that bucket for like, I don't know, 6-7 years maybe. I don't remember. For a while I had a business that I had to take care of, so I didn't really have too much time to garden. And so that's where I learned how resilient certain plants were, and this one just kind of like blew my mind. And look at this, all these woody parts, I think that's where they actually root the best. But I think that they will root pretty much anywhere. They're not very hard to root at all. You just need to make sure that it's warm. I wouldn't try and root these guys in winter. It would always be in spring, summer, or fall, but like when it's pretty warm. Okay, and look at this. So they actually secrete a latex kind of sappy thing here wherever they get cut, wherever they get injured. And so that can be that can cause an allergy on your skin. So just be careful with that. Try not to touch it if you don't need to. It's not the biggest deal on me from what I've noticed, but everybody's a little bit different, so definitely be careful. Oh, look at this guy. He's actually getting ready to bloom. Okay, so we're gonna take that off. But look at this. Look at this right here. Those are little buds. They are going to bloom. We'll see if he blooms in the cutting in the bag. I think he will. We don't know, but I think he will. And then I'm really taking off more leaves than I need to, I think. But I mean, I just really want this guy to be easy to pull out anytime I need to examine the roots. So the less leaves and the less branching off that they have, the better it is for me for now. Let's see. And look at all this, guys. They look so cool. Okay, so this one over here, he was already burning, I think, a little. But they heal so fast. They heal so fast. They are really an impressive plant. I really do like them. I think they are pretty freaking cool. Okay, so they're all like so all of these CHAYA cuttings are the kind that branches off a whole bunch, like the ones over here that I've done so far, with these little leaves. I think this is the other variety. So I'm just gonna test one out in here, and I don't know how this one's gonna do, honestly, because look at this. They actually look pretty hollow, sort of, kind of like sunflowers, how they start like drying up inside. But yeah, it feels pretty dry. It feels a little hollow here. And it feels pretty light. But we'll see. We'll see if this one works. I'm not sure if this one will work. I've never tried a cutting like this. I've always tried the ones that have little tips. So we'll see. We'll see. I think you'll be fine, but we'll see if it's much different from the other ones or not. And there we go. Okay, and now these ones are the ones with the thicker leaves. And if you notice, he actually has some side growth, which is pretty cool, because this guy actually just had the one stalk that was going all the way through, and he wasn't until last year that he started actually branching out. So this is the most branched out that he has in his whole body, but I had to chop off this part because it was just going to break anyway. But I think we can get more cuttings out of him, so that's pretty exciting. So, oh, I hate to do this, but I have to. Well, you know what? I could cut him maybe here, and that will give me two. No, no, no. Let's just do it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful cutting, though. There you go. And that one doesn't reach all the way at the bottom, but that's okay. And then there's this guy. Take off the... Look at how cute these little cuttings are. And they're itty bitty, but I do want this variety of CHAYA over the other one eventually, just because this one's have the bigger leaves. But okay, see this right here? It's really small for this baggies. But I am actually I actually have a little cup here with the little ones. So I think this will do fine right there. So any little itty bitty ones, I'm just jamming them in here. Okay, and now that we got most of the cuttings, I'm going to be leaving these guys over here. I get sap in my fingers. So I'm going to be leaving these guys over here just to see if he'll actually continue with them. I think there's a lot of energy stored in this. I really do think I could make 2 cuttings, but I'm just going to keep it at this one just because I have so many cuttings already, and I want 3 big ones because this guys, I guess I'm going to be able to make bigger cuttings of this, so that's interesting. I have really big ones and itty bitties. Let's see. Okay, and okay, so I decided that I think I need a bigger pot for this giant here. So I am going to use him for 2. I'm going to use this pot for 2 different cuttings. I mean, they're the same variety, but you know, 2 different ones. And I kind of want them to go like this. Yeah, no, I actually want him like this. And anytime I squeeze too hard here in order to jam him down, I feel like I'm squeezing him, like actually bending him a little. So I feel like bad sometimes. But there we go. Okay. And I feel like this shape right here lets me play with it. And I can do something really cool inside maybe. I don't know. We'll find something to do with this, but I think this is going to look really cool. Okay, and this is what we ended up with. So we have 25 baggies in here, and there's all single cuttings. There is 12 here. Oops, 12 here. Same thing, single cuttings. But I do have some other ones, like that one over there. Those are the big ones. And those are double cuttings, single, and then a few singles here. But then there's some that are definitely more than one cutting. But see, this is the cool part here. Like this, you know, your cuttings don't all just need to be neatly arranged in rows and baggies and pots or whatever. You can actually just have a little bit of fun and make little arrangements with them, because this is going to be a little plant arrangement in my desk that's gonna last for a little while, quite a bit. And once he has roots, then I can just go ahead and plant him outside. But in the meantime, he's gonna look super cute. Look at that. There's my little apple doll, and she looks awesome in there. I might add a little bit more pebbles, kind of like here, but maybe, not sure on that yet. But she looks awesome. Look at that, there are 3 little guys there. So that's a really cool cutting, and I just think it's art. This guy is just super cute, because I mean he's a cute little cutting. He's cute. And then this guy over here. Oh, I had fun doing this little guy. Look at that. I was actually going to put a swing in here and have him sitting on it, but it was just too much work. And really, I mean, these are cute little arrangements, but I know that I'm gonna be bumping into them, so you know, it's okay. I just rather just let them be, and then I can hang stuff once they're actually rooted. But in the meantime, he looks super cute. There's even a succulent leaf in here. We'll see if it roots. I don't think so, because he's been sad, but we'll see. And then back here, basically is another cutting arrangement, but that one's just a little bit more basic. There's nothing extra. There's no little dolls. We don't have any extra pebbles. We don't have shells, anything like that. But he still looks pretty freaking cool. So, yay. Let's see, little itty bitty here. And then there's also this guy. I think some of these guys have like the coolest shapes, so I like what they are doing, so I just left them like that. Even though he's got a tiny little pot, but I think that will be enough. We'll see. We're going to find out. So, yay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are having fun with your cuttings. I don't see too many videos in CHAYA, so I thought it would be nice to put one out there myself. If you guys have any more questions, if you guys have something that you guys want me to cover, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do about that. This is Kat, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.